Welcome to another workshop video from Touro University. We're excited to cover today's workshop that's going to cover from code to cloud managing and publishing software projects online. Please welcome AKASH Sherpa, who will be hosting today's workshop video.
I'm going to share my screen now, and I want you to guys also do a code along with me. It's not much a code, okay? It's just a basic code, but I will show you how we can track things, okay? So for that, I want you to, your participations, doing a little bit of a code change, okay? But I will show you my screen, and you can just follow along with me. So let's learn about Git. What is Git, right? So Git is a distributed version control system that helps developer to track and manage their changes to their code over a time. Unlike a centralized version control system like a SVN, where there are a single central repository, but Git gives every developer a complete copy of an entire project history on their local machine. So in this crash course, I would say like crash course or like we're gonna learn how uh, Git is a distributed version control system. Okay, so understanding a distributed architecture. When you clone a Git repository, right? So you are not just getting a latest file, right? You are not getting this. You are getting complete history of the project, like every commits made by us, every single developers, right? So every branches, every metadata that has a several profound implications, like you can work as a offline, like multiple backups and fast operations. And work offline means you can commit your changes, like whatever changes that you made in your code. You can push your code offline. You can create branches offline, right? You can see view history of your branches and the merge branches, everything. And you can also do like remotely. The remotely is like when you are fully know your code is ready to publish or need to push, then you can push right in your in GitLab or GitHub, Bitbucket. Those are like a host they are usually a host. We can say a repository host, right? So you can push and you can see there all the changes. Like other developers also can see your code or your changes, right? And multiple backups, like what is exactly a multiple backups is like every clone is fully backed up of the entire repository. Like if the main server fails, right, any developer can restore it back from their local copy. What does that means? Like, okay, here example, I will give you like in a real case scenario. Uh, like you have a one clone of our project, right? You are working on specific features, like let's take an example of XYZ features. Or if our main server code is fail or crash or we accidentally deleted everything, we can still get our code backup from your local history also, right? How is like that's the beauty of Git, because Git track all the metadata, all the history. Like when you create the branch, right? It's not only you are creating the branch out of a one specific branches, right? It's more like you are taking all the history and metadata, like each developer's push changes everything. And another beauty is like it's not very space consuming. That's the beauty of Git. Actually, when you made the clone or replica of the another from the one branch to another one, it will only take the changes of that. Not only history, it's like it's when you create a branch out of the another branch, right? If you change in the branch that you created from the branch, right? So it will only track the new changes in your another branch, and it take the remember thing still from your old branch. So that's why it consumes less space, right? And core features is like I said, track changes over a time. Git maintain a complete timeline of your project through the commits. Each commit is like a snapshot of your entire project. Another one is enable the team collaborations. Git excels at managing parallel developments, like multiple developer can work on a same project simultaneously, okay, without stepping on each other's toes. What does that exactly mean of without stepping each other's toes? Like when you are working on a same project, there is always chances of getting like conflict, or like this the redundant work, like same this one developer work on the same thing, and maybe there's a chances of the another developer also work on the same thing, or their code can be like overlap with each other's, right? But how Git solves is like, for example, we have a one main branch, or like a main branch, right? And I'm making another branch from main branch, and like Pravina making another branch from a main branch, right? And we both are working on a same features, but she's working on a different part, and I'm working on a different part, right? When we both our works are done, we can again merge back in the same main branch, right? And the Git manages that so fluently, like it will track all the changes that made by Pravina, and it track all the changes by made by me. And yes, sometimes there will be some conflict issue when we are working on a same file, but otherwise you won't see any kind of problem on that. Everything in a Git is like a checksum using SHA hashing before it is stored. This means like it impossible to change any file or date or commit messages or directory without Git knowing about it, right? So what exactly this means is like when I make a change, right, in a code, and when I push that code in our repo, so if I even want to delete that, right, still Git track that that commit. Like every push have a one commit, and one commit is saved as an one SH hash. And like even if I deleted my code, you can still bring that deleted code from the Git. Also Git give that ability as well. Yeah, so you cannot lose information in a transit or Git file corruption without Git detecting. That means like even if you like accidentally deleted everything, right? So still from that hash, that commit message, you can still retrieve all the previous work also. So till that hash message, you can retrieve your all changes. Maybe I talk a lot of them, right? Theoretical part. Let's do in a practical way also. So why Linus? Okay, do you guys know Linus Torvalds? So this is the person who created this Git. Actually, it's a very interesting story about in 2005 when the Linux Torvalds is working on a Linux kernel, right? And they usually use a Bitkeeper to track their changes and to manage their code or the versioning their code, right? And in 2005, Bitkeeper revoked the free access because Linux is a community-based open source project, right? And after the Beatkeeper revoked the free access, and the Linux needed a new version control system. So then the Linus Torvald spent 10 days, and he created this amazing technology called Git. Now all developers, all engineers, every day we use Git. Like, do you guys install Git? Okay. Okay. From here you can download our latest Git version. Okay. So I will give you a couple minutes. Please install, and it will be a fun if we do together, right? Meanwhile, I can tell you difference between what is Git and GitHub, right? So a lot of people confuse about Git and GitHub, right? So actually, the Git is actual version control software command line tools, right? That you install on your computer. Um, it's a core technology that does all the version control works, like created by, type, runs, purpose, like that. And the GitHub is like a web-based hosting services that store your Git repositories online, and it's also give you a like a collaboration feature on the top of the Git core functionality. So you for now you can understand like Git is more like a tool, right? And GitHub and GitLab and Bitbucket is like more like a hosting, exactly like your like Google Cloud, like Google Drive, something like that, just to host your Git repositories. And in a market, there is so many repositories like GitHub. GitHub is created by Microsoft, not created by Microsoft. Actually, it's owned by Microsoft. I think it built by someone else, and later Microsoft bought it. And there is a GitLab. You have a separate company, GitLab Inc. And Bitbucket. I think Bitbucket owned by Atlassian. This is the same company who owns Jira and all. Jira, Confluence, I think, and other Atlassian products. So here I'm going to create our So mkdir, today's is Feb 12, Feb 12. Okay. Now we are in a Feb 12 workshop. Open a Visual Studio Code and open your February 12 workshop, right? So right now here, nothing, right? You don't see any file here, right? Because we don't have anything here. We did not initialize any Git here, right? So to initialize the Git, we do need this command, git init, because without initializing Git, our code or our file does not gonna be tracked by Git, right? That's pretty obvious. Let's do this command. So you still don't see any kind of a file, right? Like where's the Git? So to see if there's a Git or not, we can do lsla, right? You see, there is a dot file called .git. If you go over here, you will see the hook that Git used to track our files. Config here, description head, hooks, info, object, refs, everything. We don't need to know anything about here. I'm just giving you, like when you initialize the Git, there's a certain things that Git created for you to track your changes, right? Because it's a dot file, so you don't see in in a normal ls. You just need to do a ls-la. So what git status does is check the file changes. So when any changes happen in your this directory, like current our February 12 workshop directory, right? It will track by Git automatically. Right now we don't have any file, right? Because it's pretty empty right now. So if I say git status, because after we initialize the Git, it now your directory accept Git commands. Okay, Git status is one of the Git commands that look for the any changes happen in your directory or not. So right now, currently you are on a main branch, right? Maybe you will see the masters main. That doesn't matter because that's a different config things. Okay, just ignore that. It's fine. Git status. Okay. And when you do git status, it's look over our directory. Is there any change happen or not? So right now we don't have any changes, right? Because we did not do anything in here. So let me create a one file. Okay. So I would say, okay, let me create a one file called index.html. So I created index.html, right? And let me create one simple HTML, nothing much. Like if you don't know HTML, don't feel like just create index.html, right? And write it whatever you want. You can write ABCD, it doesn't matter. We are not here to, like writing code. We are only here to learn Git. So like I'm doing this to just to see like how Git track our changes. But even if you type on this file, like random things, it's still the Git gonna track it. Okay, Git doesn't care like your syntax is correct or not. And I was say hello world. But now we added our index.html, right? And we also made some changes in the index.html, right? If I do a git status, it's a on track file, index.html. It says on track because this has not been tracked, or that means you never added this file. If I add this file, right? If I add this file and made changes, it won't say on track, it's a modified. Right now it's on track. So that's why it's a on track files. So to add the changes, very simple. First git, like status, let you know is there any changes or not. Add let you know to add these changes, right? You can do dot. Dot is more like a wildcard. Any changes happens, it will take it. But if you wanna add a very specific one, not like a more like a wildcard, you can still use index.html, right? Both works. This is like you are adding individual files. If you use dot, that means you are like adding all the changes. Okay, for now I'm using dot. Now it's added, the change is added. If I do git status, now we have one changes. It's added, the change is added, but we still did not commit our changes yet. We still did not commit our code. What is it? Okay, we stays all the changes. Now save with a message, right? So we already added stage our changes, right? And now we need to commit our changes. That we need to just do a git commit -m. It's like a message. You can say give a appropriate commits name because it always helpful when you are tracking your changes or like you are looking for specific changes that happens, right? So appropriate message is very handy while tracking the changes, right? Okay, added index.html in workshop. So now we made a changes. Now we insert our changes. We committed our changes. If you do now git status, you'll see nothing. There's nothing to commit because we already commit our changes. How it track the changes. So right now I say hello world, right? Like I will modify this. Okay. I added just one single line in a line number 9. Now if I do git status, it will track that change. You see, it says modified now. So now you see like how Git is so powerful, like it's track all the changes. Even okay, there's another beautiful command to see exactly which line it changed. Like if you are not sure, like you made a changes, but you are not sure like what changed you did. Sometimes people we do have accidents. Sometimes we just like while resting our hands on a keyboard, right? So we accidentally make a press a space, right? If I make a space here, right? So we can still do git status will track that, and we can see exactly changes also. Git I added line number 9, hello student, right? Because this code is already committed, right? So the whatever the white text is, that means this code are committed. And whenever you see the plus and the minus, that means the changes happen in your current changes. Okay, press a double enter. So you see there's a 2 lines, empty lines added. This is how the Git tracks all the changes. So let me remove it. So right now only line 9 is changed. When you need to enter from, I mean, exit from here, you just need to type a Q, okay? Just type Q, it will allow you to exit from that. Commit this, commit, no commit. We did not add it yet, right? So we git add first, always. Git status to see your changes. Git add to stage all the changes. Commit your changes. Modified our index p tag in line on branch, nothing to commit. So I'm teaching you right now everything from a command lines, right? There is a possible also like we can do from a GUI. For me, I like to type a commands more than these graphic things. But I will teach you from here also how you can do it from GUI. Okay. Okay. So we know how to diff, and you can use a git log. So git log is tell you the history. This is what I talked about earlier. So this is the history of our code change, right? So till now we made only 2 pushes. I mean 2 commits, one and this second one, 2. So that's what git log does. Okay. There's so advanced things also, but I would go more basic first. Now you know the essential command. This is the most essential command that you use most of the time. In my day-to-day life as a software engineer, this is the 80% commands only. Check the status, add, commit, and there's a one more, is a push. Okay, push things we're gonna go later. This is the most essential commands that we use. Yeah, so this is what I say, like working directory, git add is staging area, and git commit is commit to our local repository. Till now, our code is only in a local repository. So it's not in our remote host, right? Remote host like a GitHub or GitLab. Till now, it's local, right? We are tracking all the changes locally right now. Now we do need to push our code in our GitHub or Bitbucket or whatever. Okay, so let's do that. Uh, I want you to guys create a account in a GitHub. Okay. Why GitHub is I think it give you more private and public repo. Like I think it's have a free access. You don't need to pay anything for the private. If you guys already have account, that's good. Just signing in. I want you to sign up. Please, guys, create a one GitHub account, please. Okay, so let's create our one repository. Okay, so right now our code is locals, right? All our changes is in local. So we do need to push our code in our hosted repository. So here, when you push code here, you, me, everyone can work on a same repository also. So that's a collaboration things that I want you to create a one repository. Okay, So I'm going to create a new repository. So Feb 12 workshop. For now, I'm going to make this a public. You can make a public, private, it's up to you. Create repository. And it will create a repository for us. We're going to push our code into GitHub. Okay, now my repository is created. So it will give you a quick setup guidance. Okay, so it will tell you like create new repository on the command lines. It will like we already did this, right? So we have an existing repository right now. So we're gonna do this. I want you to do one more thing, right? I want you to create a PAT. It's a personal access token. Before 2001, what the GitHub allow us to do is like we can push our code based on our username and password, right? Because we provide this remote server name like GitHub and SHERPA, AKASH, and this our repositories, and we just need to provide our username and password. Now on uh, GitHub, it doesn't allow you to do that. I think any I don't think so. GitLab or Bitbucket also allow you to do that. There's a couple way to do it. One is to do is a SSH. It's a more secure way and professional way to do it. Once you set up a SSH, what happens is like every time when you push your code, right, Git doesn't access any kind of authentications or credentials for you. Let's do in a PAT. PAT is like personal access token. What we're gonna use here is we're gonna use a username and another thing I need is a PAT. So how you can get a PAT is like just go here, setting, go to a setting, and all the way here you see a developer setting, right? So go in a developer setting, click on that one. Please click on a token classic. Click here, right? Right now I do have a one that I created yesterday, generate new token classic. You can define like how long your code, your pad access will be work. This is a demo purpose. I'll keep a 7 days, right? And you can select the scope, what level of scopes you are giving that access token. Uh, I'm giving you full access, so please give full access. Just click on everything, and now generate access token. Okay, so this is gonna be our workshop. So I created, just copy this and let's go back to your repository. So we have an existing repository, right? What we can do, we can simply commit this, copy this git remote add origin, right? And simply add this as our remote server, right? After you do this, you still need to provide a username and password. The password is your pat. Just to git a remote set URL origin, right? And you see the username and the token, right? Uh, in the username section, let me provide this command. So, right now, let's go to our git and copy our username. After the colon, you need that pat that we created, right? So I made the copy of that one, right? And that repo as well, so I don't mind. And what else we need? Now we need this after the slash slash, right? Because this is your repository URL, right? You can get from here also. After at, you can simply paste this, github.com and your username and simply enter. First thing what we can do is like this, simply copy this, git remote add origin, remote, that means did you set up any remote origin or not? So now I can do this with my username and the password. Now on what it does is like it won't gonna ask you, it won't ask you your username and pat access again and again. Now it's set in your origin. So where this all located, it will be like, you can see by doing git remote -v, it will tell you, right? You can see now, you see, now your token is here, your username is here, everything here. So this all actually saved, it's saved in there. So now on, our remote server is set. Right? And now if I do a git push, right, what will happen? All these changes go into this repository. Let's do it together. So let's push our code. So to push our code now, because this is our first push, right, we need to do a git push -u, and my branch name is main. Okay, make sure you match the branches. If you are pushing your first, you just need to check your branch, and after the branch, you can simply say git push. So git push. Push is always means you are pushing into your distributed repo. Okay, push. Git push is pushing your changes. Let's do it. You say now it says, okay, this push, you will see there's no error message here. Let's do more changes. Okay. Now this line 9, I don't need it. So let's remove this line 9. I would say, okay, let's git status now. You see, there is a modified index.html. And what we need to do next is our git -m line 9. Okay, now we just simply do git push -origin. You can see from here also, when you create the new repo, it always give you the required commands. So this is the most essential Git commands that you need every day while you are working in a software engineering, right? There is a branching strategy. Like for example, we have a main branch and dev branch. Main branch is maybe come from a dev branch. The main branch is also a replica of a dev branch. So how we cannot create a branches? Like usually main branch is a stable code. You cannot do your ongoing development. It's not like you cannot do that, but it's just a common practices, okay? Because we set up some kind of guidelines while we are working in a Git or while we are pushing it in a Git, right? Because all developers need to follow that. So I have a main branch, right? This is a very stable code. Like I cannot push my changes in a main branch. Okay. This is not experimental. So we do need to branch off from a main, right? We need to create another branch where I can work, right? Where I can work and change. So for that, you can simply say either you can say git checkout and dev. So what it does is it allow you to create a branch and it also check out that branch also. So when you will say git checkout -branch dev, with this one, now you see right now here main, right? So that's my current branch. That's my current branch where I'm working on right now. So right now, our main branch code is pretty stable. I don't need to work on a main branch because it's not an experimental branch because this is a live branch in our productions. So let's create another branch. This is called a branching strategy. Okay. So now we are checking. I check out the checkout -b and the dev. So if I enter this one, look, now I'm switch dev branch, but I still have all the changes from a main branch, okay? Because my branches is created from a main branch, actually. Look, I was in a main branch, and then I created another branch called dev branch. Now on, like all the main branch coded in my dev branch. Even if I do a git log here, that code is actually pushed in our main branch, right? But you can still track that history. So now we are in a dev branch. Now we can do a multiple changes here. Let's do some experimental works here. I will do a lot of hello, okay. Okay, welcome to my web page. Same thing, okay, git status to track the changes. Okay, modified index.html. If I do git push, it won't push because we need to set up, we need to tell like, this is a new branch, please set this branch also, okay? So git, if I do a git push, you see, you cannot push. Okay, now you need to just simply say, okay, git push -set. What actually I'm doing is right now, because when I initialize the git, right, I have a main branch. When I do push -u origin main, right, I told that like I'm pushing this branch. So same as a dev. Dev is not present in a repo, right? So whenever you try to push, it will always give you an error, right? If you go over here, right now you see only a main branch, right? That's the branch that we push, right? So what do we need to do? Now we just need to do this. So now it pushed. So right now you see these changes, right? And currently we are in a main branch because we did not make any changes in the main branch. We create a separate branch out of our main branch, right? So if you go back and just see the dev, that changes happen only in a dev branch. So this is it track your changes separately according to our branches also. This work is perfectly fine, right? Like you get approval from your seniors, like, okay, this code is good. We can push this code to our main branch. So there's always a one proper strategy to do it, right? Right now we are in a dev branch, right? So because this branch is off from a main branch, but while you are working as a software engineer, the branches keep updating, right? Like a lot of code pushes happen every day, every hours, every minutes, and your main branches keep updating, keep updating, keep updating, right? So you cannot go in a main branch and update your code. So what you need to stay in your dev branch, bring that main code in your branch, right? And then only you can push it. Okay, so what we need to do first, we need to stay in our dev branch, right? So what I do is, let me see, is there any kind of on track things? Okay, our branch is clean. I say git merge. Yes, my branch is off from a main branch actually. It's created from a main branch. Now, why we do need to merge main again? You do need to bring that in your dev, okay, to see your code doesn't have any kind of a conflict or any kind of error, any kind of a build issue or something like that. We say, okay, git merge main in our dev right now. If there is a changes, you will see a lot of changes. You will see all the messages there. But here, because right now there's no changes in the main branch, right? So you don't see any kind of a message here. It's already up to date. Now, what you can do is you can say, okay, git checkout.
So, quick question. So, with
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the command git merge main, you bring the code from the main branch to the that branch.
Yes.
Okay.
Now your dev branch is a fully up-to-date
Yeah.
branch. Okay.
Updated.
Yeah. Your
So,
branch
what
have
happens with
all the latest.
any code you had on the that branch when you pull the code from the main branch? What happens with the dev?
If main branch have any changes, right? Then if main branch also have some changes, like same line changes, then you will see some kind of a conflict things that you can
Mhm.
resolve, like just removing that error message. But if there is a no changes, like okay, I can create some a real kind of scenario, right? Okay, so you made these changes, right?
Yeah.
And main branches also have one line, like it says, okay, in one line we have some changes here, like this changes in our main branch right now. Okay, so but your dev branch, when you merge a dev branch, right? So that the Git automatically track that changes, okay,
Yeah.
and it will add it in your dev branch like this. And you will see like maybe your code is like maybe your code was ended in a line 15, now on your code is maybe ended in a line 16 because that changes also come in
Oh,
your
okay.
dev
Okay.
branch. Okay, now what you need to do is let's switch back to a main. Okay, in a previous I used git checkout, right? So what checkout does is checkout is very old command. What it does, like if you have some kind of changes, right? Like if you have some kind of changes like this, then what it does is like it take these changes also to your main branch without knowing you. Okay. But that's why git checkout, whenever you do git checkout main or like that, always check is there any untraced changes or not. So we always need to careful on that using git checkout. The beautiful another thing is we can do a git switch. Okay. What git switches does is like it just switch your branches. It does not bring any changes from your one branches to the another branches. Okay, until or unless you are not intentional, like, oh, I want to bring these changes, then you can do a git checkout. But if you are not intentionally, you don't want that one, so you can simply say, okay, git switch. I would say git switch mean, okay, just as, for example sake, I'm doing this, a git status, you see, there's a changes, right? So what I do is, I'm not gonna add these changes or commit these changes. What I will do, I will simply do git switch. Okay, it says your local changes to following files would be overwritten at checkout. It won't align me because I did not add it or commit, right? So I can stash it or like remove it. How we can do that is you can simply say git restore. What restore does is like it restore your git to your previous state, right? The whatever changes happen on this state, right? I mean this file right now, what it does is like, okay, git index HTML. If I do now git status, you don't see changes because it take your changes to take your take your index.html file to a previous state. Like what, again, like what if I do changes and then I try to switch, I get this message, right? Git status. When I try to do this, it tell me something, right? So what I can do is like I can do a git and git add and try to switch. I'm not sure it should. Okay, it won't allow it. It asks me to commit. Okay, but still, when you do git checkout, it will take these changes also. Okay, I'm switching to a main branch now. Okay, now let's bring the dev in our main branch. The code that you make in a changes in a dev is approved by your senior engineers. Same thing, merge dev. Always remember, merge is whenever you are ready to merge, you just need to, like if you want to merge dev in your main, just stay in your main and merge dev. If you need to merge main in your dev, go to dev and merge your main. So if I do git status, there's nothing, only merge happen, but still you need to push, okay, git push. And now your main is updated. Now main and dev is pretty much similar. The example that I show store is very essential, okay? Is like, for example, for here, I can just say, okay, simple.txt. I want only simple.txt, not this one. So git dot restore, it will take you to your previous state. But sometime you realize a little bit late, right? After you already make a commit or you already stage your changes, then it's a different thing, right? So let's take an example here. Now this is added, right? This change is added, but you don't want to this change. Now if I do a git restore index.html, right? It won't restore again because you already staged that changes. For that, what you can do is git, same thing, restore, right? But you already stage your changes by doing git add dot, right? Here you can do hyphen staged, right? Please restore back to its previous state. .html status. There's only yeah, this is a recent changes. For this one, you can simply do git restore. So if you already staged it, right? So that what you can do is you just need to add hyphen stage. Git add dot is you stage that changes, right? You cannot restore with a simple git restore. Now what you need to do is git restore hyphen stage because that change is staged, and you just need to that file name that you want to restore back into the previous state. So I show you git dev, right, and how to restore it. Okay, one more thing I will show you. Okay, now git status. What if I do git commit, no changes? Now this changes is committed. So if I do a hyphen stage, does it gonna work? No, it's not gonna work because before it was staged, now it's committed. Here, what you can do is you can do a like soft reset by soft reset is like you want to reset that changes like just the latest commit, right? And you can another is a git rebirth also, but I will show you most easy one, I guess. So easy one is clear git like how much you want to reset. Like I want only one commit reset, like whatever commit I made last time on this one. So just one. Say git log, but yes, it does reset for you that recent reset. And if you already push this, that's a different thing. Now you know how to create branches, push changes, and let's learn about how you can push your code on a cloud. So here, for a simple example, I'm using Netlify. I want you to guys use a Netlify. Okay, so I would say, please create an account in a Netlify. I want you to log in with your GitHub account. Okay, so in that it will track your repository also. So it will knows and it will also help you to which repository you want to push or make it live like that. Okay, let's create this one. Let's log in with a GitHub, right? So you will see all the project here from your GitHub. I want to also create a simple thing so it will be make more interesting. And I want to host the project that we just created today, right? And we just need to create just go over here, add new project, and import an existing project from our GitHub, right? Because we are deploying from our GitHub workshop, right? Yeah, the main, you can choose the branch also, which branch you are pushing, you want to make live. I would do go with the main, okay? And now deploy, I just did a deployed. Now my branch is publish. Now just, you can click on this link, you'll get yeah, I know it will give you something not in your domain name, okay? But you can put your custom domain name also, it won't be issue. Now you know how to create, I mean, from how you can manage your changes, code changes from GitHub, and how you can host your or deploy your changes with the help of GitHub to a Netlify now. Yeah, that's all for today.
And
Yeah, there's
I
so
do have
many.
a question. What about
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
pull command?
Pull command. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. So for now, to get a pull command is pretty much easy. You just if you are if you already have that main branch, right? You can simply say git pull. That's all. It will pull because right now my code is already up to date. This one,
Oh
if
wait,
you
sorry,
guys
but if you do a pull command from the main branch, what does it pull?
the whichever branch you are, and when you do a git pull, it only pull that main branch only, not the other branches.
So if somebody else made a change on the main branch, you do git pull and it would update to
Yes.
what, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Let's go to here, right? I want you to, I'm just giving you this. Click on this one, and now here you will see the clone commands. Okay, do this. So you must use a HTTPS. We just simply copy this one, and what am I gonna do is let me create another branch here, and what I can do is just you can do is like clone, git clone, and do this. Okay, it will download all the things from your GitHub. It always present in here. You just need to do git clone this command. And to see it's present or not, let me go back to on this directory. I will indicate my git code. You see, here is there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for your participation.
Thank you so much again, Professor Akash. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.